John, we're talking about hip hop world news and events and what we can do to add to the culture of hip hop, clean it up, so to speak. As you know, YSL, Young Thug, and Gunner was, apprehended on a RICO charge in the state of Georgia by their district attorney. She's determined to, um, get the gangs cleaned up and get the streets safe uh, in her world. She's going after the gang. She's going after any affiliation that's criminal activity and involved with any of these record labels or hip hop labels, and that's just the way she's doing it. And there's really nothing you can do about it. So it is what it is. What can you do? Um, she has her opinion, and she wants to do what she wants to do. So who am I to tell her, you know, what to do in her world? She has a job to do, but you might not agree with the veracity that she's going about it, but at the end of the day, what can you do, man? You know, it's a warning to these artists out here, man, that you're being watched, and no matter what you do, there's always going to be roadblocks set up to get you trapped in their little net, and you better come correct. That's the only thing I can say. You just have to come correct out here. And I mean, I don't know what to say, man. It's one of those deals where it seems to be an attack on the hip hop culture. You saw this Fox News, the gentleman, he actually said the Uvalde shootings was a result of rap music. He actually said that. Um, so that just goes to show you where we at as a culture and the attacks that the establishment. They're gonna blame everything on rap music. They're gonna blame the violence on rap music, the drill music, and to be fair, some of it is out of control. And you see what's happening up in the Bronx in New York and Brooklyn, um, where you have a lot of these teenagers that has access to guns. And New York has one of the strictest gun laws in the New York City has one of the stricter gun laws in the country. So I think you automatically get like 4 years if you get caught with a gun, maybe even five, depending on the severity of the crime or what they want to throw at you. But young folks have to be mindful, man. You just can't be out here just wilding and think that you're not going to get caught up in their net. And it's unfortunate because you're young, you're following whatever crowd that it is you need to follow and to make your presence known. But the beefing and everything else, man, you can't tell these young guys what to do. They're going to do what they want to do for the most part. And but they got to live with the consequences. So the consequences can be severe. This lady at this district attorney in Georgia, she seems very determined, very determined, and she's put out some shots, she's some warning shots that she's coming after people. If you're involved with the streets or any violence or any drugs, guns, and you know, the main thing is the violence, man. So a lot of things you can get away with, but the violence, that's something that you can't get away with. And that's something that will get you caught up every time. Um, because innocent people are being harmed and killed, and it's not a good it's just not a good thing, period, to be involved with if you're an inspiring artist. So um, I suggest that you guys just kind of, if you're involved, you just got to clean up your act. I mean, that's the only thing I can say at this moment. Just clean up your act. But it's going to be difficult for most people because um, they just feel they have to go all out to be that to have this persona, the whatever drill persona they have to do now. From my understanding, if you're a drill rapper, you got to be putting in the work. So imagine that. So and now that they can, I know Jay Z and Meek Mills was trying to push that bill or whatever. I think they did get some type of injunction or a bill passed where your lyrics cannot be used against you because it's more like entertainment. So some type of loophole, but you see what they're doing. They're trying to go after you. If you're using those type of lyrics, you gotta be mindful that you don't have any loose ends out there. That's the only thing I can say, because if you do, then these officers are instructed to investigate and go after you. And you give them all the evidence, you give them all the leads that they need to do to make a case, because a RICO case, all they got to do is tie you into something. Is any group, any involvement, anybody that's caught up in the life, so to speak, you're going to be tied into any conspiracy. That's all they need to do, just make a connection, and it is what it is. But um, you guys got to be safe, man. You got to really know how to navigate this world, because like I said, it's pretty severe. And what can you do about it? You don't want to get got, and it could be spooky. It could be very spooky. So it's the spooky hour. So be careful, man. That's all I can say, because they're coming and they're determined, and you're the target. So be careful out here. The Miami Heat was able to survive yesterday. It's getting late. It's late hours. What are we looking at? 1 o'clock. They was able to survive Friday and stave off elimination. Later on today, around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, the game come on with the Celtics. Celtics had an opportunity, but that's big, man. When you have a game, a closeout game at home, it's a lot of pressure to close it out. But if you can't close it out, now you got to go on the road, and so it's anybody's ball game at this moment. I still think the Celtics pull it out, but I'm not. I'm just gonna go with it. But I won't be surprised if Miami win this series, because the Celtics had their opportunity, and that showed me a lot. You have to have the heart. You have to have a determination. Um, Golden State was able to do it. They just closed out when they had that opportunity. They hit a low, but for the most part, they controlled that game and was able to get Dallas out of there. So um, it is what it is. So you got many camps. You got OTAs for the Washington Commanders. You got um, they seem to be doing pretty good. It's early. People don't have on the equipment. They don't have the pads on. But for the most part, they got a good attitude out there, and from all reports, is that it's going smoothly. Now, it was a big brouhaha about in the news and local media about Chase Young not being there. As you know, he tore his ACL um, mid-season, and so he's been rehabbing. I think he went to minicamp a couple weeks ago, but he wasn't at the OTAs. And there's some scuttlebutt about Ron saying that he was, earlier. Um, just earlier, a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, that he was expecting full participation with Chase Young. But I don't know. Ron just throw things out there. I don't know how, if he talked to Chase and Chase maybe told him something differently, but it don't seem to be neither one of them on the same page. And that was the issue last year. Um, with Chase Young did not have a great season. You know, I think he only had one and a half sacks, 2 sacks before he got hurt. So OTAs are important, man. You know, if you're going to be a leader, you have to be there. But if you're, I got to give him a pass. He's rehabbing, but a lot of people rehab, but they go to they're in the building. So I don't know if he's getting any type of special treatment or he wants to do his own thing, and that's fine if you're doing your own thing. And he's not the only person that wasn't there. I believe Cam Sims Senior wasn't there. He introduced, he welcomed a new addition to his family. I believe, he had a baby boy, a child that was born. So that's understandable. And also, um, Montez Sweat was not there. I guess personal reasons or whatever that is. So there you go. Our two ends not there again for whatever reasons they are. But there's something that's going to prop up when someone doesn't show. It's going to hit the news, and people want to they're going to ask questions. They're going to wonder where the player's at, and if that player is not there, then he it's going to lead to the media saying, "Well, what's going on?" and put Ron under the microscope and trying to figure it out. And I'm sure he's not very comfortable explaining these situations because he doesn't obviously not willing to indulge any information, or he's just not in the loop as everyone else as to what Chase Young uh, plans on attending any OTAs. So I don't know. Maybe Ron is just shielding him from whatever, but it's not. These questions are not going to go away. So what can you do? As fans, you get frustrated because you're like, man, come on, man. We want to, get everybody on page and not scrimmaging anybody this year, and which I know fans wanted a team in there to scrimmage. And Coach Rivera said that they weren't going to do any joint practices or scrimmaging anyone this year. So I don't know if that's schedule related or they can't get the logistics worked out or whatever. It seems like you can get the logistics worked out. I mean, maybe a team like Baltimore that's right up the road, or I know they playing them in the preseason, but still, I mean, it would make perfect sense. But I don't know what's going on. So there's a lot of funny stuff going on surrounding the Commanders. I mean, they can't get anybody to scrimmage with them. As you know, the all these accusations about the reports of that the owners are counting the votes from the gentleman whose name escapes me at this time. The rights for USA Today. I think Jared Bell or Jason Bell, something like that. Forgive me if I'm not completely giving them the proper name, but he did report that anonymously there's some votes being counted. They're counting up the votes and for Dan Snyder's ouster, or at least looking into it. But I think Roger Goodell said that he didn't, there's nothing going on like that, or he's not aware of anything like that, or nothing came across his desk like that. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Then there's a stadium deal that the land purchase recently in the same week in Woodbridge or securement for purchase for land. It hasn't really purchased it, but they did acquire for, I guess, some secured land purchase for about $100 million. Uh, all contingent on if they get the vote to go their way, as far as Virginia um, giving them the money. At one point, Virginia was had bidded to give him $1 billion, but that, I guess, once they figured out that DC wasn't really heavily bidding and Maryland wasn't going to give anything towards the stadium, they were just going to do some infrastructure money. Um, I guess Virginia, the Commonwealth, kind of said, "Oh, we might be outbidding ourselves. Let us scale back." So now it's in danger, not even voting that proposal, not even getting through with the scale back. I think the last they said was like down to like 350 million, and it could be less now. So they're not on board all the way, because the simple fact is they had a couple of senators, Virginia state senators, saying that They don't believe that the Washington Commanders as a franchise is um, a viable company as far as creating the influx of into that economy in Woodbridge, and for Virginia to give them that type of money, they want a little bit more return on their dollar. They don't see the franchise as of right now as having the fan support, and which is unthinkable, but being viable. How strong is their viability if they're losing, and the product is not good. So that's another thing that Dan Snyder and Ron Rivera in the business, Jason Wright, they have to figure out, man. They have to convince them that there's a new influx of fans that they're trying to tap into, and they're banking on that. But is it a solid product? Is Dan Snyder going to be around to reap these benefits as far as building the stadium? So, or will he be removed? So, do you want to risk putting all that million into a team and franchise that might not even have an owner? And how much do a future owner who purchased the team is willing to, far as contribute, or is it going to be public funded? So, Virginia would like anybody would like for them to just build their own stadium. Can Snyder finance building the stadium himself? I don't know, because he's already stretched out with that extra buying his partners out. He borrowed money from the NFL. So, how much in debt can he do? Unless he has to um, get some investors, some minority owners, probably at a 40% stake at this time. If you can get that one owner, but whatever it is, they're gonna have to figure it out, because it's crazy. It is really crazy, and we'll see. I think it's going to be very interesting going forward. I mean, Woodbridge, that's a lot of traffic, but it is highway accessible. The area that they kind of got mapped out, I think it's like 45 minutes from the U.S. Capitol or Nat Stadium or something like that. But hey, on the RFK site, I think it's like 40 minutes. But it's Woodbridge. That corridor, the 95 corridor, is always crowded. It's always a lot of traffic. Um, I I try to avoid going down there. On weekends, it's every day. It's traffic. So you do have a HOV lane um, that goes down there, but you can't get around too much of it. It's just the back roads. You can try, but everybody's thinking that same way, so they're gonna get caught up in the traffic too. So my whole theory is, you want to see them play. If they're winning, people will go see it. That's my theory. If they're winning, people will go see it. But if they continue to put the product that they continue to been doing for the last 20 some years since Dan Snyder has owned the team, it's just been a disaster. They're gonna have to change something up. And the hardcore fans are tired of going for the hype. They're gonna go for substance. And like myself, you got to win a championship. I'm gonna stay loyal, but I'm not going for the tricks. I'm not going for the bells and whistles. I'm not going for jersey sales. I'm going for wins. I want titles. I want divisions, and I want the championship. And I waited long enough. Don't tell me to wait. Be patient. Coach Rivera's in his third year. Um, he's saying be patient. Obviously, he's putting the emphasis on his third year to make some to get to the playoffs. But you have to get deep in the playoffs. And so, with the draft picks that the team had picked up, they're plugins. He filled every hole. He needed another running back. He signed JD McKissick. He drafted the kid out of Brian Robinson out of Alabama as a running back. You still have Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson needs to step up. I think, he hasn't really, coming out of Memphis, uh, you saw an explosiveness, you saw this dynamic player, but he's primarily used in the system here with Scott Turner as in between the tackles back. He leaves a lot of yards on the field. His vision He's not a natural running back, but he does have skills. So I'd like to see him, start, getting to another level. I know he was kind of hurt last year, stress factor in his leg. So I know he was hurt. He was playing hurt, but he also fumbled a lot. It cost us at least that game against San Diego, the first game. I'm sorry, San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers cost us that game. We pretty much had that game secure, and he fumbled in the red zone on our own 20. I'm sorry, and pretty much that was that. So he has to get better. He knows this, and he's being pushed. It's competition in every phase of the team. The tight ends got a little bit more competition. You have the kid from Nevada who's like 6'7" at the tight end. So he has wide receiver skills. So we need talent, man. And Ron got defensive end, Federian Mathis from Alabama, defensive tackle. And so that's going to push Deron Payne. I mean, is that Deron Payne's replacement? We don't know, but it's going to push him. So it is what it is, man. So I'm about to head out of here, man. I thought I'd come on here and just give you a little bit of content. And I hope everyone is enjoying the evening. It's late, it's early in the morning. It is right now, it's 1:23. We're live. I'm gonna start trying to stream more. Um, I just thought I'd give this one a go at this time. I just wanted to talk about a few things, but it is what it is. So hope everyone is doing well. Have a safe and blessed holiday weekend. Um, Drop a prayer for the kids down in Uvalde, Texas, who were killed in that senseless act of, to me, terrorism, murder. We gotta do something, man, about these guns and regulations or something. What I mean, I'm for the Second Amendment, but at the same time, I don't like kids being killed in the fashion they got killed. I don't like kids being harmed and innocent babies, man. And those are precious, precious resources. So um, it really got to me. It got to the nation, and there's a lot of politics now with it. But we need to be on the side of protecting our kids and everyone, because you saw what happened in Buffalo, the elders being mowed down by some madman. And it's becoming the norm. It's happening over and over again. And we have to do something about it at this point. So thank you, the ones who came in, and I appreciate it. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for chilling in the lounge with me. Peace out.